welcome to another episode of Thrive. It's Karli. Welcome, guys. If you are watching, you are seeing inside my caravan today. If you're not watching, you are just listening to me as you usually would. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode. Today, we're going to talk about something that is so fucking important to me, which is all about how you can show up with more authenticity and with more passion and share in a really aligned way what it is that you want to share with the world. Okay, because there are so many people who are holding back right now who need to be able to tap into their authenticity, to tap into their courage, and to really have that confidence to just be who the fuck they are so they can have the impact that they're here to have on the world. Okay, so that's where we're going today. If you're new here and you don't know a lot about me, hi, my name's Karli. I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, and I've been coaching for about 12 years now in some capacity, which is absolutely fucking mind blowing. I have a big past life in the corporate world where I started my coaching and training kind of journey, if you will, for lack of a better word. And now I've been in my own business for the last couple of years, really doing a few different things. But this version of me, this version of Karli, as I said, I'm very multi-passionate, multi-dimensional, as most of us are. Hi, if you're a Manny Jen. This version of me is particularly passionate about helping humans really tap into who they are deep down. Not even finding, it's more about remembering who they are deep down, finding their voices and using their voices. Because as I said earlier with what I'm going to talk about today in this episode, there are so many people who have got a message that they need to share, but they're not sharing themselves fully. So as a result, they're not able to get their message across. So my mission right now, call it my now purpose, if you will. That's a terminology that I love because I feel like we put so much pressure on our purpose and we feel like we need to have everything figured out right now. And I definitely don't believe that. I believe that we get to have a now purpose and it gets to evolve. It gets to change as we grow and as we change. And so right now, my purpose is really helping humans like tap into that side of them, tap into who they really, truly, deeply are, so that they can share what it is that they need to share, what they want to share, so they can live a fucking fuck yes, more fulfilled life and actually create bulletproof, unshakable confidence so that they can live the life and create the business that they want to create. Okay, that's a little bit about what I am here to do right now. And it feels myself like it gives me tingles, right? I was going to say it fills my cells with tingles, but that doesn't make sense. But it fills my body with like goosebumps at how important this is, because there are a lot of people who are watering themselves down. There are a lot of people who are filtering themselves. They're sort of tiptoeing around certain issues. They're tiptoeing around in their business because they don't want to upset anybody. They don't want to offend anybody. And as a result, they're not sharing the messages that the world really needs to hear, that the world really needs them to share. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Before we go into that, a little super quick life update. I'm in the caravan, and if you're watching this, you're getting to see where I make magic happen in the caravan. And we're actually on our way back to Adelaide. If you listen to last week's episode or whenever it was, last week or the week before, you might have like a bit of an idea as to what's going on, what's going down, where we're heading. But we are heading back to Adelaide and we're on the last leg now of our travels. So we've got one more night staying here in Mildura, or just near Mildura anyway. And then we're heading to Adelaide tomorrow. So the last leg of our drive is tomorrow. So it's a very surreal kind of feeling. I have very mixed emotions about it. And it's kind of like, one chapter is coming to an end, or, and a couple of big chapters are coming to an end, but this sort of traveling chapter is coming to an end. And now I have the opportunity to create a fuck yes life for me and my daughter. And it feels really exciting. It feels, I don't know, I've got all the feels at the moment, to be perfectly honest. I don't know how to put that into words. But it feels really big. It's like, this last year has been all about following my dreams, following the things that feel good for me, and they haven't always gone as planned, and that's okay. Like, we get to try different things. We get to do different things and we get to see where they lead us. And then we get to backtrack if we want to. And I actually shared a post from Gary Vee yesterday, and it said everything that I had been thinking and feeling. It's like so many people don't take what they see as like a backwards step because they feel like it's going to, you know, like take them backwards. Whereas that small backward step, such as, you know, leaving the job that you've been hating, or, you know, choosing to end a relationship even though you've been with someone for a number of years, or whatever the thing is, that can sometimes and so often be the thing that propels you into your next level of happiness, into your next level of fulfillment, and into just your next level of creating fucking magic. And that's exactly what I feel like I'm on the cusp of right now. It's like it's taken some guts. It's taken some courage and a fucking hell of a lot of confidence in myself and trust in and belief in myself to actually make these big decisions. And I am excited because I feel like this is that, you know, maybe like that little step backwards that is going to propel me into my next level of greatness. And I really do feel that like deep in me. So thanks for coming on the journey with me. Also, I am at that really awkward phase with my hair right now. I chopped it all off a few months ago and it was really short. It was like up to here, like probably my jaw. And now it's growing back and it's just sitting above my shoulders. You know, when it gets to that point and you're just like, nothing fucking looks good, nothing works. And so that's, you know, a first world problem that I'm dealing with right now. So thank you for listening. Oh, wow. Anyway, so today I want to talk about, as I said, like really showing up and speaking your truth passionately, and being able to speak from a place of true alignment, or being able to share and speak from a place of real true alignment. And really what I'm referring to there is like, you know, if you're stepping into a business, or if you have a message to share, you're creating, you know, you're a coach or a service provider, right? Really being able to show up and do things in a way that feels fucking good for you. Okay. Because as I said earlier, there are a lot of people who are holding back on what they truly, truly want to say. There are so many people who are watering themselves down. They're filtering themselves. They're, you know, treading really lightly because everybody gets offended and I don't want to offend someone. That's a total generalization. I don't mean that. Everyone gets offended. But, you know, a lot of people are thinking like, oh, what if I say this thing and I upset somebody or I offend somebody? So they're tiptoeing around, you know, certain things that they may want to share because they're afraid of, you know, what the backlash could be. They're afraid of being judged. They're afraid of not having everybody agree with them. Okay. And I used to be this person. Like I used to be like that when I first started my business, and I did a post on this the other day. I was like showing up as somebody else. I wasn't showing up as the real Karli, the real me. And if you knew me in real life versus online, I would imagine that you would have noticed a difference. I would have imagined that you would go, oh, wow, you know, she's much more quiet on her socials, or, you know, when she speaks, she speaks differently, whatever. I would imagine that you would have noticed a difference. And even only yesterday, I was going through, you know, when you get your memories that come up on Facebook or Instagram, and I had a memory come up of a story that I recorded and shared in, must have been 2020. And that was when I first sort of started like speaking on my stories and speaking on socials and that sort of thing. And I watched the video and I was like, oh my God, who the fuck is this girl? Who is this woman? And why is she talking so softly and so like she really cares what everybody thinks? And I watched it a few times and then I compared it to another video, another reel that I did only recently. And the difference was incredible. You know, the difference between 3 years ago, 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago, Karli, and Karli today was huge. I'm so much more confident in how I speak now. I speak with much more conviction. I'm sure about what I'm saying. And I'm speaking from my heart. Whereas before, when I was first starting in my business, I was very much like, oh, what will people want to hear? What will people want me to say? What will most people agree with? You know, what will be the thing that most people would love to hear about, and what will put them off? Because I don't want to talk about something that will put them off, or I don't want to say words that are going to put them off. And so even when I first began my business, or actually even before that, like let's go before that, I held off on creating my coaching business for the longest time. I think I did my first coaching certification in like 2011 or 2012, which is a long fucking time ago. And I did the qualification and I was like, I had some feedback because it was all online. I had some feedback that I needed to speak slightly differently. I needed to tone it down. Okay. And I was like, oh, okay, that's really interesting. Like, so basically this whatever she was, I don't know, like lecturer, teacher, was telling me that I needed to tone myself down if I wanted to be able to make it as a coach. I was like, holy shit, okay, maybe that's not for me. So I put a pin in it and I didn't do anything coaching related outside of my corporate job for a long time. I was coaching people on the daily at my corporate job and I fucking loved it. Like I loved it so much. And that's why I wanted to do it outside of my work. But I was like, shit, I've got to tone it down. I've got to be somebody different. I've got to show up differently. It's probably not for me. So I took that to mean that I wasn't good enough for this coaching industry. I wasn't good enough to be a life coach back then. And so I stopped and I didn't do anything with it for the longest time. And then when I did, it was after I'd had Layla and I sort of started thinking like about, I didn't want to go back to my 9 to 5 and I knew that I was made for something more, right? I knew that I was, here to help people and here to just be more. I knew that within myself. And I explored like the coaching world again and, did a couple of other little bits and pieces, but I was filtering myself hard. I was watering myself down hard. Like it was like, if you've ever had cordial, what an interesting example, Karli. If you've ever had cordial, like when I was a kid, I used to have like drink cordial and if my mum would make it, she would put the littlest amount of cordial in and just water it down. And it was like, what is even the point? Whereas when I would make it really flavorsome. I'd make it sweet. I'd make it punchy. And I would, as a result, love drinking the cordial. Right. But I didn't want to drink it when my mum made it because it was just so watered down. And it was just like, I may as well just drink water. And so I did most of the time. Right. But I was watering myself down so much that my messages or my message, whatever, was not being heard by anybody. Because no one could truly connect with me because I wasn't being real. And as I said, if you knew me in real life, and you were watching my videos back then, I would imagine you would have gone like, Karli, what are you fucking doing? Like, where is Karli? Where is the bubbly, energetic, vivacious woman that we know? Why are you being so softly spoken? And the word demure is coming to me. I don't know. But like the way that I would describe myself was very like I had to be proper and I couldn't swear and I just couldn't be me. That's what I felt like I had to be. But as a result, no one was really like, no one had the opportunity to connect with me. They may have heard my things and thought, oh, okay, yeah, that's nice. But it never went beyond that. And that's because I wasn't opening myself up for people to be able to truly connect with me. Now, for somebody to ever want to come into your world, to connect with you, to buy from you, they need to know you, like you, and trust you. And now, if we're not being our authentic and true selves, if we're not speaking, like we normally would, then have they got the opportunity to know, like, and trust you, and therefore feel confident enough and comfortable enough to invest in themselves with you? Probably not. Okay. And even if, excuse me, excuse me. And even if, fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, love that. Anyway, if they don't have the opportunity to know you, like you, and trust you, then of course they're not going to buy from you. Or not, of course they're not going to buy from you, but the chances are a lot lower. Okay. Particularly when we're like, I'm not talking about all business here, but I'm talking in particular about the coaching industry and the service industry where we are we are our product, right? Like, you know, I am my product. If you're a coach or if you're in the service industry, I know a lot of you that listen to the podcast are in the service industry. You are your product. So if somebody cannot genuinely connect with you, they're going to find somebody that they can connect with. So we need to be able to speak from the heart as who we truly are. Okay, if we actually want to connect with the people that we want to come into our world. And what does that mean? So what that means is that when we are speaking truly from our heart, we're going to offend some people. We're going to have some people not agree with what it is that we say. We're going to have some people think that we are so fucking controversial and they're going to want to remove themselves from your life. That's happened to me. That's happened to me. And that was one of my biggest fears when I started sharing online. And that was one of the reasons why I was like, I didn't want to be too much. I didn't want to, you know, say too much or share too much. And I didn't want people to know that I was a, in quotes, conspiracy theorist, right? I didn't feel that I could be all of me. And so then when I did, I started to talk a lot more freely, and I started to share a lot more of what was on my heart. I started to just fucking be me. I lost a lot of people. A lot of people who had followed me for some time unfollowed me. A lot of people who I had been friends with for a long time unfriended me or unfollowed me or just stopped talking to me. And that was my biggest fear. And at the time, part of me was like, fuck, I fucking knew it. You know, I fucking knew that this would happen. Like, I knew that I'd lose friends and followers and blah, blah, blah. But do you know what else happened? At exactly the same time, I attracted the people who were meant to be in my world. I attracted the people who were the most soul-aligned clients, number one. I attracted the most soul-aligned friendships who I am still friends with to this day. And if I hadn't have been myself, if I hadn't have shown up as me and gone, I just have to be myself and share what's on my heart, that wouldn't have happened. I would have stayed, it would, like, the way I'm imagining it is like it's like a flat line. You know, it's like things would have stayed stagnant. It would have been still. It would have just been going. I wouldn't have lost friends or followers, but I also wouldn't have attracted those ideal fuck yes soulmate fucking fuck yes clients and those fuck yes friendships. As I said, I'm still friends with to this day. That wouldn't have happened. And so what I came to learn from that experience is that if you start to repel people, and like people are sort of going like, whoa, you're too much. And, you know, shit, like, you know, quieten down. And, you know, I've loved your journey, Karli, but I'm out. I'm not following anymore. That was someone actually had said that to me. And if that starts to happen, fucking celebrate. You deserve to celebrate, because what that is that's a sign that you are starting to really step in and share from your truth. Okay, you're not tiptoeing around the things that matter to you anymore. It means that you are starting to really show up as you are. And so we get to lean into this, right? We get to lean into this and we get to go, wow, how can I start to be comfortable with repelling people? We get to actually explore that. Okay. And this doesn't mean that we don't care about what people think about us. Okay. It doesn't mean that we're just like, nah, zero fucks, fuck everybody else. I'm right. You're wrong. Absolutely not. What it means is that we get to live life and we get to be who we are in a way that feels good for you, for me, for us, right? Like we get to live life in a way that feels really, really good for who we are, in alignment, you might say, congruent, okay, where the inner being, like who you are on the inside, is lining up with how you're being on the outside. Right. And it doesn't mean that we don't care about other people, but what it means is that we can live life from this aligned place and that we can see other people and their views and their opinions, and we can allow them to have them and we can love them anyway. because we've all got free will, right? We've all got free will, and we are all getting to choose like how we move and how we, want to be in this human experience, right? So I get to choose how I'm being, and you get to choose how you're being. They get to choose how they're being. We all get to choose how we're being. And what's going to happen is I'm going to see someone being a certain way. I'm going to be like, wow, that doesn't align with me. Unfollow. Cool, no worries. And then I'm going to see someone else and be like, oh my God, you're speaking to my heart. Follow, 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 like binge, binge, binge all their content, right? Same thing with friendships. I'm going to see somebody and I'm going to have somebody who may have been in my life for a long time. And all of a sudden, we don't gel anymore because I'm starting to be who I really am. And I'm not tiptoeing around the fact, and I'm not like, oh, I don't want to say that to upset them. No, I'm just being me. And I'm trusting that even if they are upset, then it's going to be okay. Right? Because I have my opinion and they have their opinion. And if it gets to the point where it's not okay, then we part ways. And that's okay, because that is the sign that you're starting to be more you. Okay? And it's not going to be for everyone. You're not going to be for everyone. And we need to let go of this idea that we can be for everybody, because we can't. You can't not repel people. Just like you can't not attract people, right? If you're repelling, you're attracting. If you're attracting, you're repelling. That's the duality. Okay, we cannot have one without the other. So if you are starting to, step into, who it is that you really truly are, and it's starting to feel a little bit awkward and you're losing followers. Like, I've lost so many followers, especially in the last few weeks, because I've even taken it up a notch. I've taken it up a notch, and I'm speaking more from my heart than ever. And I've lost dozens of followers. And that's okay, because I know that that is making way for the new aligned people to come into my world, the people that I really want to be in my world, and the people that want to hear what I have to say, the people that want to, come along for the ride, that want to watch my videos, that want to listen to these podcasts. It's making way for those more aligned relationships in whatever way, in whatever form they take, to come into your world. Okay. So how can we check in? Like, how can we check in, right? Am I showing up as myself, or am I not really? How can we check in with that? A couple of questions that you can ask yourself. Number one is, am I speaking and sharing, talking, like using the same kind of language in the same way online as I would when I'm with my friends? Like my closest friends who I could tell anything to, my ride or dies. Am I showing up in the same way as I would show up in those friendships, in a room of my closest friends? Am I showing up in the same way? And if not, where am I not? So just start to get curious here. And of course, whenever we're looking at ourselves in this way, we're always coming at it from a place of curiosity, and we're going to be compassionate with ourselves too. Okay, we're not judging ourselves, and we're not going, oh my God, I should have been more real. No, there's no right or wrong here, and there's absolutely no judgment. What we're simply doing is going, wow, that's really interesting that I speak this way to my friends, yet I speak this way online. What's behind that? Or how can I bring more of the real me into my online presence? And trust that I'm going to be okay, and trust that I'm safe to do so. And know that even when I repel some people, because I'm going to, when I show up as my real true self, that I'm also attracting the people who are meant to be in my world. And the other question that you can ask is, what would my friends say to me if my friends were to talk to me and have a conversation with me in real life? And then if they were to watch my video or my stories or listen to my podcast, what would they say? Would they tell me that I am the same online as I am in real life? And I get told that a lot. Like, I get told, like, Karli, you're the fucking same. Would they tell you you're the same in real life as you are online and in your business presence? Yeah. Or would they notice some differences? Is there a discrepancy here? And again, maybe you can even ask your friends, like, how am I showing up? Like, how am I different in any way in real life as opposed to online? And just ask them for their honest feedback. And then that's a way that you can start to get curious. And that's a way that you can start to just kind of go, wow, that's really interesting. I wonder why. I wonder what's behind that. And how can I start to bring more me into my online business, my online presence? Okay. And again, this isn't a place to be like judging ourselves and saying, fuck, I should have been more real and I should have been being real all this whole time. Absolutely not. Okay, so often we don't even realize that we're doing it. And I'll tell you, for the first, maybe year, I don't really know, but however long it was in my business where I was speaking very softly and very, don't want to upset anybody, I didn't even realize I was doing it, number one. But I also, number two, thought that I had to be a type of person. I thought I had to be a certain type of person. That probably goes back to that feedback I got from that, whoever the fuck she was in 2011 or 2012, telling me that I was a bit too much and needed to tone it down. And yeah, and then there's all sorts of other different reasons that, that we carry these things into our business. But, there's an opportunity here to start being more you, to start being who you truly are. And there's so many reasons why this is important. I mean, I've talked about the connection, because how can your people truly connect with you? How can your people be truly attracted to you? Like the ones that you want to work with? How can they truly feel your energy and be magnetized to you if you're not being who you really are? That's one. But number two, who wants to be in business and not be able to do it in a way that feels good? Not me. I didn't create this. I didn't come into this world to just be in another like 9 to 5. Yeah, sure, I work my own hours, but if I have to say certain things or can't say certain things, absolutely not. I didn't come into this world and create this business to do that. If that was what I wanted, I'd go and find a fucking job and I'd go and work for somebody else. But I want to be me. And I've been on this path for some time now, and it's really just the last, few months, I've amped it up a notch. And I'm saying things that I never thought I would say. Not never thought I would say, but never thought I would have the confidence to say. I'm saying the things that are on my heart and trusting that the people who need to see them are seeing them, and they are. Okay. And this is what is creating genuine connection. This is what's creating me feeling excited to step into my business, because I'm not having to pretend to be anybody anymore. I've taken off my masks. I've topped the cordial right up. I'm not watering myself down anymore. I'm being me. I'm being who I am, who I want to be. And that's one of the biggest things that we can do if we're wanting to speak, if we're wanting to attract more aligned people into our business. Okay. And I've created a mini mind that is starting next week, or maybe the week after. It's going to depend on the settling situation for me. But at max, it's starting in 2 weeks. And it's the Confident Business Mini Mind. Okay. And it's 3 incredible weeks with me where I'm going to show you how to step into your bulletproof, unshakable confidence so that you can actually speak with confidence and conviction, so that you are actually speaking your message from a place of true authenticity and alignment in a way that feels good for you. Okay. And we're going to touch a little bit on, how to be able to move through the fears of judgment, and how to be able to move through the fears of what Aunt Carol and Sally from high school are going to say and think about you. Okay. Because they're very real. Okay. And I'm not about to sit here and preach and go, nah, just fuck it. Don't worry about what anybody says, because that's not realistic. Okay. We are going to experience these fears and we get to move through them. And the cool thing is that even when we're feeling these fears, we get to move anyway. We get to challenge ourselves. We get to stretch ourselves, trusting that we're not going to break. We get to stretch ourselves, and we get to kind of play in this realm of like, oh, that's my edge. I'm going to go a little bit further here. I'm going to go there because I know, I trust myself. I'm not going to break. I'm not going to break. I'm not going to break. Okay. And that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to walk you through and teach you and share with you more in the mini mind. So it's 3 weeks with me, and it's going to be a very small, intimate group. Okay. And right now it's still in early bird until what day is it? Monday. So it's still in early bird until like Wednesday or Thursday. And it's only $197 for 3 weeks. And we're doing multiple trainings and calls per week. Okay. So if you want to join by, let's say Thursday. I don't know what the date is on Thursday. I had it written down before, but it's not here. But anyway, join by Thursday, which is like the 2nd, I think, of June. Okay, let's just call it that. 2nd of June, and it's $197. Okay, that's the full investment. Okay, because there goes my alarm. That's the full investment. And after like Thursday night, it's going to go up to $297. Then it will go up to $397. Okay, so it's still fucking incredible as it is. Like, this is an amazing opportunity for you to start to go, okay, I'm not showing up the way that I want to show up in my business, or the way that I know I can show up in my business. Let's journey on that. Okay. So if you want to know more about it, drop me a DM at Karli Heinjus on Instagram. That's where I hang out. You probably, if you're listening to this, you probably know that, and you probably follow me over there. But we have the opportunity here to look at how we're showing up without judgment, from a place of curiosity and from a place of compassion. And we get to make some changes so that we can connect deeper, because at the end of the day, right, we're all here because we want to make an impact. Like, and if you've listened this far into this episode or watched it, you are here because you have something to share. You are here because you want to make a fucking impact. Okay. And that starts with your ability to genuinely connect with people, and for them to feel safe to connect with you too. And the way that people feel safe to connect with you is by them getting to see you and know you, like you, and trust you. Okay. So that's the end for today. The end. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to know more about the Confident Business Mini Mind, it's 3 weeks long, and you have until Thursday. I'm looking up at my calendar because I have like no idea what fucking day it is at the moment. You have until Thursday to jump in the early bird. Okay. So if you're thinking about it, drop me a DM. Let's chat. Let's see if it's a vibe, if it's a good fit for you. Otherwise, I've got some very exciting one-to-one opportunities that are coming as well. So drop me a DM if you want to know more about that before I share it with the world. But other than that, thank you for listening, for watching. And yeah, that's the end. I fucking love you. Thank you. I will be back. I'll be back next time from Adelaide. I was just like, whoa, that's kind of scary. Not scary, it's just different. It's incredible. But yes, next time you see me, I may not be in a caravan. So big love. Thank you for listening. Until next time, beautiful people, you have fucking got this. I love you.